Alright guys, welcome back to Yo Spilt. So, as you can tell or as you've seen from pictures on Facebook or shared all over social media, I kind of totaled spare parts. I wasn't racing, I wasn't doing any pools, I wasn't doing anything of that sort. I actually just hit something in the road and it threw me off the road, and I went through a telephone pole and a bunch of trees and kind of destroyed the car. So I'm alive. My buddy that was riding in the car with me is alive. He has a couple fractured discs in his back. I have 10 fractured ribs total and 5 fractures in my shoulder, which is why I have a sling on. They should all heal naturally. Of course, I'm on medication to be able to stand up and everything. Doesn't feel the best. I don't even know how I feel about making this video or posting it, but I just want to thank everyone that's reached out to me, everyone that's gave me words of encouragement. As you guys know, I drag race a lot, autocross a lot. I'm a pretty talented driver. I won't say I'm the best, but very talented at driving. But anything could happen. The next day is never promised, and just be safe out there in the streets. So if you guys watch this video or share this video with your friends, check in on them. If you guys are building fast cars, anything could happen. So don't take it personally. Or if you got roasted on Facebook or something like that from posting the pictures of my crash, or people were talking crap in the comments, don't take it personally. It'll happen. People want to be trolls. But I'm gonna flip the camera around here and show you the car. There is no saving this thing. I split it completely in half, as you can tell by the pictures. But at least I want to show you the goods and the bads, and kind of what survived and what didn't survive. As you can tell, I don't have an arm or anything, and my ribs and shoulders are kind of jacked up, so I can't really move anything. But at least I can walk you around the car and show you much more in depth and not just in pictures on Facebook. So let me flip the camera around here, and hopefully you guys enjoy this video. And thanks for all the concern. I'll be back. I'll be back racing. I'll be back building Hondas. It's just going to take a couple months to heal my ribs and my shoulder. I'll be back at the gym. My face is all messed up from all the glass and cuts and everything. So my back, shoulders, everything have cuts and gashes in them. But we're here. We're alive. Yo Spilt isn't over or nothing like that. And let me show you how bad this car really is. Alright guys, so it's a little hard for me to talk, so if I have to do a bunch of cuts in this video to make it one video, don't mind it. It's, 10 fractured ribs is bad on the lungs, and I've been doing breathing exercises and everything so that I'm good. But I wanted to give you guys an update and show you kind of what happened and explain kind of how it happened. It wasn't anything technically I did wrong, but anything could happen. Tomorrow's never promised. All right, so we're going to start here at the back of the car. As you see, that is the back bumper, the trunk, and the gas tank. These pieces were all actually setting on the road when the paramedics showed up. I've spoken to the paramedics and the firefighters that found me in Tristan on the side of the road. They said the car wasn't running because the gas tank was actually setting in the middle of the road. There is the back of the car. I don't know how well you're going to see it on video. There's the one control arm that completely ripped off. I believe this is the passenger side one. There is the passenger side of the car. Well, what's left of the passenger side of the car. And then there is the passenger side of the car, the lower half. It's completely split the car right here by the telephone pole. Completely split it in half. As you can see, the seats are still intact. If I push on with my feet, it's still bolted in. So the Integra seats are probably what saved my life, my seatbelt. As you can see, it's still attached up here. Of course, it ripped on me pretty hard. But the actual dash and center console and all that stuff is there. My brother went back to the crash site and got the Honda and everything out of the field just so we didn't lose anything. None of the RPF ones survived. This one has a chunk out of it. This one up here. Hold on a second. Let me catch my breath. This one up here, of course, is bent pretty bad. If you notice, the whole front end is bent over. So I was literally driving back from doing just 2 test pulls just to make sure everything was all right after the dyno. I should have dyno clips. Not 100% sure. I'll have to see if I have them on my phone. I don't exactly remember the rest of that day. Obviously, I was in a bad accident. But you can see the Neogens aren't bad. My back tires aren't bad. There was nothing physically wrong with this car. I just did an alignment on it. I had just did a whole rear suspension. All the bushings were brand new. That's actually the intercooler pipe sticking out through the front bumper. The intercooler shoved up in to the radiator support. There is the technical back of the car. Obviously, the telephone pole did its number, but Honda engineering definitely saved me and Tristan's life. If I would have hit the pole a little bit farther forward, sad to say I probably wouldn't be here today. There's my springs, snapped in half the coilovers. The factory control arms actually pretty much survived. You can see the RPF1 is definitely broken in half. The windshield smashed out of it. All the windows smashed. I'm pretty sure my head went through the passenger. I have a bunch of cuts and contusions on my head. But it, surprisingly, sad to say, but it surprisingly handled the crash well. Besides the fact that, of course, it split the car completely in half. I don't know exactly what, fire rescue did to get us out of the car. Because supposedly, from what I was told, me and Tristan were out of the car after this accident, and we were on the side of the road waiting for them to show up. I know everyone said it's a miracle in the comments that me and him walked away from this. Yes, of course, we have injuries, but we did get out of the car. We did walk away. Supposedly, I don't have the strength to open the hood or anything, but supposedly the engine is all still there and doesn't look to be too damaged. So I might, once I have an arm, shoulder, and everything back in place, I'll cut all this up and save the swap, save everything for later. The front control arms and everything, my Integra brand new brakes, my rear disc conversion, all of that stuff is probably trashed. It's pretty bent. The traction bar is pretty bent. I think it even snapped the mounts and everything off the front traction bar. Of course, it shoved the intercooler piping up through everything. The airbag didn't go off on the driver's side because this was the airbag I had just got, and I literally put it in there with one bolt just to cover the hole in the steering wheel, and it was never actually plugged in, I don't believe, from what I remember. But it's just insane how the car split in half. Like I said, just be thankful if you do crazy stuff like this. Try to do it in a safe and controlled environment. I'm a do as I say, not as I do type of person. Please don't try this. This is not fun. I won't be able to use my arm with any weight bearing on it for at least 12 to 15 weeks. So this is not going to be a quick healing process at all. But I just wanted to show you guys, give you an update, show you guys that I'm still here. I'm still alive. I'm still kicking. Of course, spare parts isn't. Spare parts is destroyed. But it's still an EG. Well, at least the front half is. So I plan on my friends at least coming to help me. They've all told me they would help me cut it up, at least save the RPF ones and like hang them on the shop wall or something as basically like a memorial for spare parts. Like I said, if the swap is good, it'll be put in the barn, saved for a later project. I really have no need to even try to recreate this car, especially after what happened. I don't feel like putting myself in that situation again. But hopefully you got to see all the injuries. Well, not the injuries. See all the damage. Right here is the sunroof. You can see the car literally split itself wide open. There's the seatbelt retractor. There's the door jamb for the passenger side of the car, which is now part of the roof of the car. And then here's the driver's side. You can see how narrow that is. That is less than half the width of the original car. So it was definitely a wild ride. I don't remember any of this. So I asked Tristan, my buddy that was riding with me, if he remembers anything. And he said, we did our 2 test pulls. Everything felt great. We turned around to come back and we were cruising, and then I hit something in the road and I said, hold on, this is probably going to hurt. So I wasn't racing. I wasn't technically doing anything illegal. So anything could happen, especially when you're driving a 2,000-pound Honda Civic around. Life is precious. Don't do dumb stuff. And I'm just glad to be alive. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video a little bit. Hopefully you guys are glad to hear I'm still here and around. And as always, till the next one.